Do you like the fact you stayed? Like, has it given you a bit of a refresher to not have to get on the plane and fly back and then fly back here again?
Yeah, no, Perth is a great place. It reminds me a lot of the West Coast in the U.S., but way clearer water and nicer beaches. But it's been good being here in Perth and being able to rest and not travel as much during this week. Even though it's coming to an end and we'll be going to Melbourne, I've definitely enjoyed my time here in the city.
Has it freshened you up? Like, it's a bloody long way from Cairns.
Yeah.
Here. So just doing the trip initially would have been rough. Like, so having those extra days to not have to worry about it, does that make your body feel more prepared for a game?
Yeah, I mean, you just kind of feel like it's weird. You kind of feel like you're at home in a way when you stay for longer in a certain place. But I think the most important thing is, the last few weeks we've been traveling throughout the week and having a little bit of long road trips. Bendigo was another long road trip playing against Melbourne United, and being able to just kind of stay in one place. And a place like this has been actually refreshing, so it's been great.
And the bonding that you get out of it?
Yeah, we've been spending a lot of time together, going to the beaches, getting food, and some of the guys have brought their families out, so we got to spend a little R&R time with their family and do some bonding with, like Drew. He brought his daughter from the States, so he hasn't seen his daughter in a couple of months. So it's been good. It's just been good being here, and I think it's a good time to focus and really lock in, especially having 2 days off originally, freshen up the body. But here getting back to work, I think guys are ready to play tomorrow.
We just came from Perth then saying that it's been 3 months since you played them. Like,
yeah.
It almost feels irrelevant what happened back then from an on-court perspective. Like, how do you approach it, having not played them in ages?
Yeah, no, I mean, you really just kind of look at it like a new series. I mean, we come back in a couple weeks, so this is kind of a fresh start for us. They got us the first 2 times, so we're going to try to get them in their place.
And the last time you played them up there, fair to say you're involved in a bit of a scuffle at the end.
Yeah, tensions were high, the intensity was high. It's a different part of the season. We had a lot to fight for, and we were going through a lot as a team with injuries and getting guys back. I think the team and everything where we're at now, we've grown a lot, and I think that now it's just about executing and going out and playing basketball.
Is it water under the bridge to you, the way that game finished?
Yeah, I mean, what happens on the court stays on the court for me. Things were said that, for me personally, I thought was a little disrespectful at the time, but I don't hold grudges. We're all human beings. We all make mistakes, and we're grown men. Competitiveness on the court creates high intensity environment. So at the end of the day, it's not something that I'm looking forward to going on the court to regenerate the energy that was displayed in the last game we played. But at the same time, I'm a grown man. They're grown men, and if there is an issue, we'll be able to talk about it or hash it out, but it's not something that, as a player, I want to bring on the court here in Perth.
Perth, can I just throw one question in?
Oh, yeah.
So Perth have had a pretty changeable lineup, similar to yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
How does that impact your game plan going in?
For us, it doesn't change much other than guys coming out ready to execute and ready to play hard, and just being focused on the game plan. They've had a great season so far, and for us, it's just about coming in and trying to be as disruptive as possible.
And there's been a lot of uncertainty around that guard role.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that as a benefit, like a bit of a weak point that you can press as the Taipans?
I think for us, we focus more on what we have to do out there on the court. They have a really good roster, and I'm sure they have guys that'll step up and fill any discrepancies they have or inefficiencies they have. So it's just about us executing as best as we can what we normally do, and just being true to ourselves.
Must be nice to be in this building again for you.
Yeah, it's definitely. You want me to hold it?
Sorry.
Yeah, it's definitely been done up since I was last here. It's obviously been good memories, but great facility, and it's great that East Perth and Morley Rec were able to host us because we stayed here a week, and the boys were able to get 2 good workouts on court. But it's always nice to look around and see an all championship banner hanging up there from 2014.
I was going to say, walking in, that's the first thing you notice.
Yep.
And it's the house you built, isn't it?
Well, I won't go that far. That's I said I'll be pretty big on myself if I said that. But there's so many great memories. Is where I pretty much really was able to cut my teeth in coaching. Tom Jervis, Drew Williamson, Sunday, who's obviously now with the Wildcats. Just like so many guys here that we all sort of started out at the same time, and our basketball journeys have taken us all in different ways. But we're always connected here, which is pretty cool.
Have you reflected on the weekend and your half a game?
Yeah. No, look, I got to give credit where credit's due, because I was pretty critical of the NBL in terms of communications, and this week actually the communication's been really good. And so there's probably a part of that where I was removed from it. So because I tend to jump the gun a little bit, and so my CEO Mark Beecroft and his talks with the NBL and how that game was, and some of our things that we highlighted in terms of like my ejection and Drew's fouling, the communication has been really good, and there's been progress and things that I walk away from going, okay, they actually are listening and they did take it on board, and so while I have been critical, I also want to go on the other side and say, hey, look, credit where credit's due. They've been really good this week, so I'll be on my best behaviour, and to continue those future communications, I think I'll definitely be an ally in that moving forward.
Is it easy for you to be composed in games? Like, is it a conscious decision you made to have a crack at that, or
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're making a choice when you have a crack.
Well, part of my argument was actually I wasn't about it. So there was a bit of an agreement me and Drew had where I said, well, if you get really worked up on it, let me burn one for you. And he picked up 2 early fouls in that game against New Zealand. We kept him out there. So Drew was fantastic to not only stay on the court and bring that margin back to the one possession game that it was, but to then not pick up his 3rd foul. And so when he got up and he was pretty aggravated, I knew he was going to get a tech, and I virtually said to him, well, let me wear it. Like, let me take this one. And so, I sort of had to build up for it because I wasn't in the same mindset that I usually am sometimes with techs. And so to get it and then get the second one straight away, but also have the explanation of what should have happened from the NBL. Look, it wasn't the plan to be thrown out. It was definitely strategic to get the technical, but I think now moving forward, like I might just try and tone it down a few degrees and maybe just get the one without picking up the second straight away.
So they explained, did they say that it shouldn't have happened that way? Is that what you're saying with the communication?
Well, again, like I don't want to kiss and tell in that sense, but look, there's definitely there's a process, there's the mechanics in which where the second technical should occur from, and that didn't happen, and so that was where I came back and go, for me, for a large part, that de-escalates a lot of my emotion, because it has been something I've been thinking about. It's the first time in my career I've been ejected from a game, so you start to think about things that you've done or shouldn't have done. I know I don't sit here as the innocent party, but I also sit here and go, I know where the line is, because I can get my toes right up to it without crossing over. So, no, again, like I don't want to kiss and tell too much, and not trying to throw names or people under the bus in this regards, but I walk away from that knowing that if that scenario was done again, the outcome wouldn't have been the same, and I would have been able to coach out the second half.
So the way you live and are, you're an emotional, you are an up and about person, like it makes you the coach that you are. So,
well, it's a controlled emotion, yeah, for
so,
sure.
I just asked JR the same question. He said, look at the 2 coaches, we're both emotional beasts. So
yeah.
Are you able to maintain your upness, I suppose, for the team, and the energy that you need to give them when you're towing the line?
Yeah, it's probably not a healthy way, but I always find like there's a lot of times post games where I'll have a massive energy dump, or I'll find myself with almost like a hangover feeling the next day. So yeah, look, we want to be involved in the game. That is constructive. Sometimes energy is contagious, and when you're having the season that we are with the injuries, and I mean last time we went through scout this morning, and the last time we played Perth, we had 3 guys on the court then that aren't available to us now. And you sit there and go, well, there's things, right, where we can blame the universe for injuries, or we can blame someone else, but the reality is we're going to come out and compete and play tomorrow night. And sometimes I'm the one that maybe has to kickstart that energy, and it's something I've always enjoyed and willing to do so. But I always feel like it's controlled emotion. It's never one that's boiled over to the edge where I've become counterproductive or negative towards the team. I can do that and turn around to the group and coach tactics and move on to the next play, or still see what's playing out in front, or even understand, the potential exploitation we can get out of the next few possessions, knowing that we've highlighted the foul count. Okay, fellas, let's be more aggressive and get some make-up calls. And JR is very much the same, I think. So, that's why I was surprising. I guess the last game it was what it was. But I mean, that's in the past now. I'm happy with what the outcome was, and moving forward now we're focused on Perth.
How do you win?
Well, their forwards are really tough. I think the combination of Windler, Doolittle and JLA poses some real problems, and not only on the offensive side of things, but their ability to be able to switch out different defenders in some of the action. So Jack, for us, for example, who's a big focus of our offense, whether we run a wedge screen, cross screen, down screen, on ball, they could just look to switch out on those matchups and send out different defenders to pair up against him. So, the big thing for us is, and it's still been the case, is offensively we've been pretty good finding the shots that we want to get. We're third in the league for effective field goal. We're number one in assists. Our Achilles heel, though, is we give up way too much possessions. When you combine the amount of offensive rebounds we give up and the turnovers we commit, we went through the checklist with film review yesterday with the guys. Aside from the Brisbane game, the deficit of shot attempts between us and our opposition has been at least 14. And you're not going to win too many games where you're allowing the other team to shoot 14 more shots than you. So, look, we got to make sure that we defend the half-court action. One possession is going to be enough. We've got to secure the rebound, because if we keep giving up the O-board, we're just going to be chasing our tails. So look after the ball, secure the rebound, take care of the rest.